Hello and welcome to the first tutorial on Rituals Hub. I'm Rachel and I'm going to bring to you a wide range of yoga classes, meditation, some little bits on nutrition, and I'm creating this channel because I started doing yoga 6 years ago in England. I didn't really know what the different styles of yoga were. I didn't know what was right for me. I also didn't want to feel the pressure of feeling like I couldn't get into a certain pose, or I wasn't, I guess, comparison, and didn't want to compare myself to other people in the class, which now I realise is not what yoga's about, but at the time that's kind of how I felt. So yeah, I'm gonna give back to you kind of what I took from YouTube, and which is a long relationship with yoga, and it's really helped me through a lot of times, and yeah, it's in my life every day now. So we're going to start the tutorials with a beginner's yoga class, and I'm just going to take it really slowly, go through the warm-up, go through the sun salutations, and then on the next class I'll go through more of the core of the class, and then the savasana, which is the end of it, the nice relaxing part. I'm going to incorporate some breathing into it as well, and I'm going to say some of the words in Sanskrit because that's the language that yoga was written in thousands of years ago. So I'm going to incorporate a few of the poses in Sanskrit. So you joined me from Fiji this morning, and it's quite cloudy this morning, which is nice. I'm not going to be melting all over the mat for you. We've also just had 7 puppies, or our dog has just had 7 puppies, so you might see some little puppies here and there. You can hear them barking actually. And so yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start down, rounding down into our easy seated pose, which is cross leg. Being aware that not everyone sits with their legs crossed now. We're usually sitting at a desk or in a car or on a sofa where our bodies are like this. So this might not be comfortable. So if you have 2 cushions at home, I would suggest to pop them here and here. Or if you have yoga blocks, pop them here and here. Also, to pop a cushion just underneath your bum, so you just get a bit of a deeper stretch when you sit in cross leg. You open up the hip flexors a little bit more. So we'll just start cross leg, and we're just going to roll the shoulders back, open the palms up to the sky. And in yoga, we try to keep a relaxed body whilst we're moving and whilst we're still, but we also try and keep some structure to it as well. So right now, I'm relaxing my body, but I'm also elongating my spine. And we're going to inhale out in through the nose and exhale through the nose as well. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Try and on the next inhale, try and inhale the breath into the abdomen. And exhale, try and push all of the air out of the abdomen. One more time, inhale and exhale. Nice. We're just going to ground, just make sure that we're grounded into our mats or our floor. Just, we say lift up our sit bones, which in yoga, which means basically lift the fat from our bum cheeks up and ground down through the bones in the base of our bums. And when someone says ground down into the mat and lift up your sit bones, you literally just do that. You kind of lift up the fat from your bum and kind of ground down into the mat, elongate the spine, roll the shoulders back, and imagine there's a string in the top of your head and it's pulling you up to the ceiling, and it's just kind of giving you a bit of posture, rolling your shoulders back. And then we're going to bring our arms out into a T shape, and we're going to cross our arms over like this, left over the right, and we're just going to twist the arms around a little bit. Maybe your hands come to here, or maybe your hands come to here. It doesn't matter, but just wherever your arms come to, I want you to roll the shoulders back and just push out the elbows a little bit more, and kind of just karate chop the hands forward a little bit. So making sure the shoulders back, making sure you elongate your spine, grounding into the sit bones, and just take a few deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and again inhale and exhale, feeling that nice little stretch in the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale, we're going to come out of that T-bar shape, and we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take the right arm under the left. We're going to meet our hands wherever it may be for you, palms touching, or maybe again the outside of the right hand is out of the left wrist. Rolling the shoulders back, sending the elbows forward, and kind of karate chopping the hands forward. Taking a few breaths here. I've got some bugs eating me. Lots of bugs eating me. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to unravel our hands. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, bringing the palms of our hands together, shoulders back, gaze up to the hands. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Bring our hands down. Often in yoga, when we predominantly inhale and exhale through our nose, but occasionally your teacher or I might say to you, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And when you exhale through the mouth, it's kind of like a big release, a big sigh, kind of. So more emphasis on it, the better. Just makes it a little bit more fun. We're going to take our right hand out in front of us. Option here is I'm going to put my forearm flat on the ground. And I'm going to inhale my arm up and over to create space in the left side of my chest and my ribcage. And I'm going to inhale and I'm going to exhale. For you, because you're probably not used to doing that stretch, putting your right hand out on the ground, inhale and exhale, sink deeper. We're going to inhale to lift, exhale just to sink deeper into the stretch, just to create that lovely space on the left side of the body. Inhale again, and exhale, bringing the arm over. We're going to take the left palm onto the mat again, and we're going to inhale our right arm up to the sky, and exhale, we're just going to sink over to the left. Inhale for lift, exhale to sink deeper into the stretch. One more time, inhale for lift, exhale to sink deeper. Lovely. I'm just going to bring our right arm up. We're going to move into a tabletop position now, which is where the knees are under the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders. Feet are flat on the ground like this, and a neutral spine. Neutral spine means that it's straight. It's not like this, or it's not like this. So you'll hear that a lot, have a neutral spine. So we're going to come into a neutral spine, and we're going to do a really common warm-up movement in yoga, which is called cat-cows. So we're going to go into angry cats, and we're going to go into cows. So from a neutral spine, we're going to inhale, we're going to raise our chest and our gaze up to the sky. We're going to stick our thumbs out a little bit. We're going to exhale, we're going to roll through the bottom of the spine, up the spine, and we're going to take the gaze in between our knees. We're going to inhale, chest and gaze up to the sky. Exhale, rolling from the base of the spine up to the top of the spine, gaze through to the knees for our angry cat. One more time. Inhale, gaze and chest up to the sky. Exhale, rolling from the base of the spine all the way up, gaze through to the knees, and then coming back into a neutral spine. So at any point in the practice, if you need to have a little break, you're going to find yourself into child's pose. And it's just a nice way to stabilize the blood pressure and just to reset if you found something particularly difficult. So feet together, knees, this is a wide-legged child's pose, knees at either side of the mat. We're just going to walk our hands forward, take a slight bend in the arm if you like. We're just going to inhale into our bellies, and exhale, we're going to drop our chin to the mat or forehead to the mat. And just take some nice relaxing breaths. So big inhales into the stomach and big exhales out through the nose. And then your next exhale, just lifting the head, just lifting the shoulders, just pushing up through the knees, onto the knees. Just going to bring the knees in a bit closer to the mat. Just going to walk our hands forward slightly. We're going to curl our toes in, and we're going to push up through the hands. And we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So this is another really common move that we'll practice in yoga, and again, like child's pose, this is one to go into if you need a breather, if you need to stabilize. So planting the fingertips into your mat, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, imagining there's a string in the bottom of your spine and it's pulling up the lower spine up to the ceiling. And just trying to meet the heels onto the mat. The heels don't have to touch the mat, but the more you try and push the heels down onto that, the more you'll feel that lovely stretch all the way back through the backs of the legs. Gaze through the ankles. And we'll take some nice breaths here as well. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Then on the next exhale, we're going to walk our feet up to the tops of our mats, and we're going to fold down our body, our forehead trying to touch the ground. Obviously the forehead's not going to touch the ground, but that's the idea. We're just making the top of the body really heavy, nice and strong and stable in our legs, but making our upper body really heavy. This is called forward fold or Uttanasana in Sanskrit. And we're going to inhale, bringing our hands to our shins, looking forward, having a flat back. Exhale back into Uttanasana. And we're going to push up from our feet. We're going to roll up through the base of our spine, all the way to the top. The head is the last thing to come up. And we're going to take a stand. I'm just going to face forward for you. We're going to stand in Tadasana. We're going to ground down through our feet, through the four corners of our feet, lifting up the toes and just twinkling the toes, just to make sure that we're ground down into the floor, making sure our feet are hip width distance apart. And to do that, the usual way is to put two fists together and make sure that they fit in between your feet. Mine are actually a little bit out. And just follow the lines there, so there to the hip bones. Again, we're going to roll the shoulders back, open the palms, face the palms out. Head and spine nice and elongated. Again, remember that string in the top of your head pulling you up to the sky, making you nice and long. So yeah, this is the beginning of our sun salutations, which is a really common part of a yoga practice. And traditionally they're actually performed to the east in the morning to welcome the new day, and I am actually facing east right now, although the sun's risen. So yeah, let's start. So we'll get into our Tadasana pose, which rolling our shoulders back, and we're just going to take a deep inhale here, and we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. Let's take another one. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. One more time. And we're going to inhale, slight bend in the knees, inhale our arms up to the sky, gaze up to our hands, and we're going to exhale, we're going to bring our arms down by our side, rolling into our forward fold at Uttanasana. We're going to inhale, our hands to our shins, head forward, exhale back into Uttanasana. We're going to plant the left hand on the outside of the left foot, right hand on the outside of the right foot, and we're going to step our left foot back and then our right foot back, either into high plank or plank on your knees. If we're going to take plank on our knees, it's going to be kind of how we were in before we did our cat-cows, but our hands are more forward to the mat, and your core's more engaged, and you can just push down into the hands, really engaging that core. So if you're going to take plank on your knees, this is what it'll look like. If it's going to be high plank, we're going to be up on our toes, again, shoulders over our wrists, weight into our big toes, and we're going to just bring in the core, tense the core, and we're going to inhale here, and we're going to exhale, lower down, all the way down to the ground for baby cobra, and move these blocks so you can see. So we're either going to take baby cobra, which is planting the hands into the ground, inhale, chest up to the sky, or we're going to take upward facing dog, where we're going to just come up a little bit more on our hands, straight arms. We're going to plant the pelvis into the ground, and we're going to hug in our sit bones, or our glutes, and our inner thighs. And we're going to exhale, so from either your cobra or your upward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, we're going to tuck in the toes, pushing up through the arms, and we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So we're just going to take our downward dog again, so plant the fingertips into the mat, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine that string at the bottom of our spine, bringing our tailbone up to the sky, trying to get the heels down onto the mat, and gaze through our ankles. We're going to take some breaths here. And on the next exhale, we're going to walk our feet all the way to the top of our mat, to our hands. And we're just going to roll up through the base of the spine again. Our head is the last thing that arrives. Rolling the shoulders back, we're just going to take our Tadasana pose again, grounding down through the feet, all four corners of the feet, lifting up the toes, rolling the shoulders back, elongating the spine. We're just going to step our right foot back, and this is going to be our warrior one pose, or Virabadasana in Sanskrit. And our left toes are facing forward on the mat. Our right foot is just at a little 45-degree angle. The right toe is facing the right corner of the mat. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, palms touching. Exhale, we're just going to lean into that left leg. maybe not now, but in the future, this leg will be parallel to the mat. I'm going to inhale for lift, exhale to sink deeper, inhale for lift, exhale to sink deeper, and we're going to inhale, and we're just going to swivel our bodies round to the side of our mat. We're going to turn our right foot out so the outside of the foot is on the outside of the back of the mat. We're going to inhale our arms for our Warrior II, or Virabadasana II. This part of the yoga routine I'll explain in more detail in our next lesson, but for right now we'll just go with it and try and do as much as possible. So Warrior II, we're going to shift the weight over into our left arm and left knee. We're going to inhale for a little bit of lift. Exhale, sinking over into that left side. Gaze over to the left hand. Inhale for lift. Exhale to sink deeper. You want to imagine that there's a wall behind you. Inhale for lift. Exhale to sink deeper. And we're just going to straighten our left leg. We're going to take our left arm down the side of our inside of our calf. This is maybe where you want to use a cushion, or if you have some books at home to prop. You could either use it on the low level, or the medium level, or the high level. Just to rest the fingers down, opening up through that right shoulder, taking the right hand up to the sky, gaze up to the right hand. Having a few breaths here, keeping really strong on the outside of that right foot. Staying really strong in the legs. Don't forget to smile. And on the next exhale, we're just going to come up into neutral. We're going to windmill our hands to the front of the mat, move the block or book. And we're going to take our right foot up to meet our left. And we're just going to roll up through the spine one more time. Head is the last thing to come up. Taking our Tadasana pose again. It's also called mountain pose. I forgot to say that before. Inhale in the mouth and inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And on the next inhale, we're going to take our left foot behind us, taking our Virabadasana I again, or our Warrior I. So again, right foot, the toes are straight to the front of the mat. The left foot is on a 45-degree angle, and the left toe is facing the left corner of the mat. And we're going to inhale for lift. Exhale just to sink deeper into our stretch. Inhale for lift. Exhale to sink deeper into the stretch. One more time. Inhale for lift. Exhale, just sinking a little bit deeper into the stretch. Then we're going to rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the outside of the mat. And coming into our Warrior II, I'm going to just switch around again. So, yeah, here we go. So I'm facing you. So our Warrior II, press down on the outside of that left foot. Make sure the back of the right heel is in the middle spot of the left foot, so where the arch of the foot is. We're going to inhale. And remembering that wall is behind us, we're going to look to our middle finger and our right hand. Exhale, we're going to sink over into the right. Inhale for lift. Exhale, sink deeper into our Warrior II. Inhale, we're going to take the right hand on the inside seam of that right leg, taking that left arm up to the sky, rolling the shoulder back. Remember to use your block or a cushion or a book if you have one at home. Just rolling out that left shoulder, gaze up to the left hand. just going to come up to a neutral spine. We're going to windmill the arms to the front of the mat, framing that right foot. And we're just going to take that left foot up to the front of the mat. Again, rolling up through the feet, rolling up through the spine, and meeting in Tadasana again. Grounding down through all four corners of the feet again, elongating the spine, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale through the nose, exhale side out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale side out through the mouth. And we're just going to take a few steps back onto our mat. We're going to come just meeting down on the ground in whatever way feels comfortable for you. We're going to just sit with our feet flat on the ground, legs bent, shoulders back, arms in front, and we're just going to do a tiny little bit of core. And this is a common move in yoga as well. It's called boat pose. We're actually not going to do the full thing. We're just going to do a more gentle version. So shoulders back, palms facing upwards. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. We're going to lean back and we're just going to hold here, tensing in the abdomen, tensing the glutes, tensing the inner thighs together. And we're just going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to return to our neutral spine. We're going to just come back to our natural breath. We're going to take the same position again, rolling through the shoulders, feet flat on the ground, palms facing upwards. Inhale and exhale. We're going to just lean back and hold for 5, 4, just really tensing, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral spine. Very nice. We're just going to drop our feet down onto the ground, grounding down through the bum for our sit bones. And we're going to just elongate our spine, imagine the string on the top of our head, rolling the shoulders back, toes facing the sky, legs flat onto the ground. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, look up to our hands. Exhale, we're going to forward fold down, bringing the chest to our thighs or as close to that as possible. And we're just going to hold onto the feet if we can. That's the aim. Obviously, that's probably not going to be realistic right now. And we're just going to inhale for a little bit of lift. Exhale, just trying to bring that forehead closer to the knees. Inhale for lift. Exhale, just trying to get that forehead closer to the knees. Really feeling that lovely stretch in the back of the spine. Inhale for lift. Exhale, bringing the forehead to the knees. Breathing all the time, inhale and exhale. And on the next exhale, we're going to just bring the chest up a little bit, moving back, and we're just going to roll up through the spine. Now, just to do a counter stretch to this, we're going to just take a camel pose. We're going to come up, sit up onto our knees like this, and just tuck the toes in like this. We're going to inhale our chest open, and exhale, just roll back onto your hands and just gaze up to the sky, opening up, chest up to the sky, pelvis to the front of the mat. Just taking a few breaths here. If we stretch one way, we should stretch the other way. And on the next exhale, coming out of that, just taking a neutral spine. And we're just going to finish how we started in our easy seated position, using blocks underneath our knees or a block underneath our sit bones, just to create some elevation and a deeper stretch in the legs. We're going to just roll our shoulders back, palms facing upwards, elongate the spine. We're just going to take a deep inhale through the nose into our stomachs. And exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. and exhale through the mouth. I'd like to thank you for all practicing with me today on my first YouTube video and also taking part in this beginner's yoga. I would recommend that you do this a few more times this week and just build up a little bit of flexibility, build up a little bit of strength, and then if you like it, you can meet me on part 2, which I'll post next week. Thank you.